Hey there friends, welcome back to my channel. I am Riley, the owner and creator of Pocketful of Posies, and it has been a minute. If you're new here, I am a small business owner, but also a mom of two with a full-time job outside of my crochet business. As such, I have had a very busy and hectic summer with both of my kiddos home while trying to work from home, and it has been extremely difficult to film content, to make content. If you know, you know. But I figured we were way overdue for an update, so I thought I would record a quick video about some things I've been prepping for my upcoming market and just general life goings-ons. So if that sounds like something you're interested in, sit back, relax, and let's get into it. So I know summer is supposed to be a time that we're relaxing and, you know, taking things a little bit slower, but I just feel like that has not been the case for my family. I don't know if any of you can relate. Let me know in the comments if I'm not alone, but it has been a very busy summer. Both of my kiddos were in baseball for the summer. My husband and I played on a rec softball league. We tried to do family activities and things like that. And I've also done a couple of markets. I fully intended to do a full market recap after my last market, but I didn't. And it has been so long that I don't feel like I can adequately remember the experience and give you enough detail. So what I will say was it was a very good market. I did talk about it a little bit in my last video. I really enjoyed myself. I made a decent amount of money given the booth fee and things of that nature. It was a little bit challenging to do an outdoor market, but not so challenging that I'm not doing another one because I do have another one coming up at the end of this month. I'm about a week and a day out from that market, and I have been prepping as much as I can after work and on the weekends. If you are someone who also does crochet markets, you know that the smaller, less expensive items tend to sell more quickly, which makes sense. That being said, I had a lot of things I needed to replenish, so I have been working on that specifically. I also asked my Instagram channel what they thought about having a market at the end of August. I've never done a market in the fall. All the markets I've done are in the summer, but I've seen a lot of people talking about like Summerween and Ogtober. So I feel like people are kind of getting into the spirit of fall and Halloween. So I was curious what other people do this time of year if they bring fall and Halloween makes to their markets. So I put up a poll to see what other people thought, and they overwhelmingly said I should definitely prepare and bring some fall and Halloween themed items. So I went on the hunt for some cute fall patterns that I could make quickly, and I'm really excited to share those with you. In addition to those, I've also been replenishing things like the pocket whales from All From Jade, as well as her pocket octos. I also plan on replenishing my mini axolotls, my chonky bees, my mini capybaras, and the mushy pops. If you want more information about those patterns or to see what they look like kind of in person, you can watch some of my previous videos, but I will also put the links to those down below. Most of those are free patterns, and if they are paid patterns, the link will take you to Etsy. Please keep in mind that anytime you click on one of my affiliate links, I may get a small kickback from you using that link if you make a purchase. It's no extra cost to you. It just helps me keep doing things like this, buying supplies, making YouTube content, and things like that. So if you do use any of those links, I would like to say thank you in advance. I really appreciate it. Before I start talking about some of the things that I have made for my upcoming market, I did want to share a custom order that I completed this week with all of you. It took me quite a while to get these plushies finished, and I'm really happy with how they turned out. So I'm going to send you back in time to me on this past Monday, and I'll see you back here in a minute. Hey everyone, today is Monday, and I am getting ready to pack and ship a custom order that I received a few weeks ago. Whenever I get a custom order, I like to give myself about 3 weeks to get it completed, just because it's not your typical standard plushie order. Sometimes I have to order special yarn in order to match specific color requests and things of that nature. So I like to give myself a lot of time to get those complete. I always make sure that my customer knows up front that this is about how long a custom request will take. This particular custom order was a special request for a gift. This person is going to be gifting these plushies to their sister. The plushies I was asked to make are plushies of her sister's 3 pets. So it was 2 dogs and 1 kitty, and I will put their pictures up here on the screen for reference. Now, before I show you the plushies that I made, I want to preface this by saying 2 things. One was that I chose to use my own pattern for the kitty. I used my Wisteria, the winged kitten pattern. Obviously, I just didn't include the wings. And then I freehanded a puppy pattern similar to my free Posy the puppy, but I wanted it to be about the same size as the kitten, so I did have to make some adjustments. That pattern is not currently available. I'm not sure whether or not I'm going to be writing that pattern up. I did make some notes just for myself to create the puppy, but I think it turned out really cute, and I also love that it has the adorable little toe beans that you can see on Wisteria, the winged kitten, as well. I was super proud of creating those feet. It took me a lot of trial and error to get to that point, so I wanted to make sure that I include them on the puppies as well. Another thing I want to share is that it is extremely difficult to completely recreate with 100% accuracy anybody's pet. Obviously, I do my best to match the yarn colors as closely as I can, but it really is difficult to do, especially when you're making plushies with the larger weights of yarn. I think there are a lot more colors available in acrylic yarns and also smaller weight yarns than we have available in blanket and chenille yarns, although a lot of that is changing. But if I wanted to be able to make this order within a reasonable amount of time, I had to order from places that I knew could get me my yarn pretty quickly as well. That being said, I am super proud with how they turned out. I think I did a really good job matching colors, and I hope that my customer is happy too. I did send her final pictures. I haven't heard back, but I let her know that I was planning to ship. Without further ado, I'm going to show you the 3 plushies that I made. The first one was for the Golden Retriever. And I did adjust how these plushies are made. I decided to do more of a floppy head. I haven't written that into my patterns, but it's fairly simple to do. Honestly, you could do this with any of my patterns that are this size. If you're interested in how I did that, let me know, and I'm happy to share another video and kind of go through it. But this is the Golden Retriever. And for this Golden Retriever, I used Premier Basics Chenille Brights in the color Steel Cut Oats, and then Bernat Blanket in the color Coal for the paws. And the eyes, which are a beautiful brown, were done by my friend Nerdy Girl Crochets. These are her toffee eyes, such a pretty brown. You've probably seen me use them on other projects in the past, and I love them so much. So this puppy can lay down, or this puppy can sit on a shelf as decoration. It's the perfect size for cuddling, and I just absolutely love how it turned out. I'm really proud of this. Obviously, it's not going to be an exact doppelganger for the dog, but you get the idea that it's definitely a Golden Retriever. The second pet I made was their little beige tabby. I used the same Premier Basics Chenille Brights, but in the color Mushroom. And I think it's either Snow or Winter White is this kind of like cream color. You can see I did striping on the tail. And again, I made this one with a floppy head so that it could lay down or sit and just be snuggled and played with and loved. I'm really happy with how it turned out. And the eyes are actually eyes that I got off of AliExpress. A really pretty gold color to match the pretty gold eyes of the kitten. And then the last pet from the order is this adorable black lab. I decided I really wanted the toe beans to still show on the black lab, so I went with this charcoal gray from the Premier Basics line collab that Premier did with Mama Made Minis. This color is called Pepper, and then I used Bernat Blanket in Coal. I got the blanks for these eyes on AliExpress, but I learned a nifty little trick from my friend Jake of Critter Stitch Studios to use sparkly scrapbook paper and cut it out and use it to kind of create custom eyes. I would call that kind of like a lazy crocheter hack because I'm not ready to start painting eyes It's a long process. I don't have the materials, but this felt like an affordable way to have more customized eyes for the exact colors that I want with a little less effort than painting them. I will say there's another creator on Instagram who I cannot remember the name of at the moment. If I do recall and find who it was, I will put it up here on the screen. They did an experiment to see that if you used scrapbook paper as an eye backing and then washed the plushie, what would happen? And what they found was the paper holds up because if you get the back of the eye on there securely enough, really no water should be getting in between the backing and the plastic. So I'm very confident that these will last and look great for a long time to come. I did use safety noses on the two dogs. I just think they turned out really cute. And especially for the black dog, I thought using black yarn to embroider a nose was going to not really stand out. So I decided to just go with the safety noses for these. Again, I did this floppy body style so he can lay down and sit and do all the things that good puppies do. But I really love how this order came out, and I'm pretty confident my customer is going to be very happy. I thought I would let you see all three together before they're off to their new home. I'm actually, as soon as I'm done filming this clip, going to run downstairs, pack them up, and get them to the post office so that I can ship them on time, and I will see you in the next clip. So at my last market, I brought two patterns that I had tested for my friend Erin, the crochet carpenter, and those were Spud the Stegosaurus and Tot the Brontosaurus. Because I had the Brontosaurus and the Stegosaurus, obviously I had to get the Triceratops, so I also brought Tater, the Triceratops, with me, and all three of those dinos sold. So I decided that for this market, I wanted to bring those and add Pringle the pterodactyl to my lineup as well. So I'm going to show you those first. So here is my Spud the Stegosaurus. I made this using Bernat blanket yarn. It turns out to be a really nice size. You can see in my hand, it's fairly, you know, I'd say this is like definitely a small plushie, not a mini plushie by any means. It works up fast, it's no-sew, and it's super cute, and all the kiddos love it. I think that's why they sold so well at my last market. So I have Spud. Here is Tot the Brontosaurus. This was actually a surprise pattern release while we were testing Spud the Stegosaurus, and I really like this. I think the blue is really pretty. It's almost kind of giving, I think with fins, this could definitely be like a Nessie, and part of me wants to play around with it and mod it if Erin doesn't release a Nessie pattern, especially in this blue for some reason, but I really like it. I think I might embroider some spots just to really like drive home the fact that it's a dino, but this one is also super cute and they look really cute together on a shelf. The third dino I made is Tot, the Triceratops. I forgot to mention that the Brontosaurus was also in Bernat blanket. This one, however, I made using Premier Basics Chenille in the color Curry. I think it's called Curry. I'll double check, and if I'm wrong, I'll correct myself. It's funny because this is kind of giving Dino Nuggie vibes accidentally. It's a little bit more yellow in person than it might look on camera, but I really like how all these colors kind of look together. So I think they'll look really nice on a shelf. And because I wanted to have a full set, I decided to also make Pringle the pterodactyl. And this is Pringle. As a reminder, Erin's Stitchkins patterns, which these are, can also be made as finger puppets. I choose to make them as plushies for my market so I can keep the price point a little bit lower. Obviously, being finger puppets or turning them into finger puppets would mean more yarn and more time to create them. So I have chosen to keep these as plushies, but I think they're such a good size for like toys and to play with. So I really enjoyed making these. The only one that has any sewing is Tot the Brontosaurus. You just sew the head to the body, but all the other ones, they're all no sew except, like I said, for Tot. So they all work up quickly. They're a nice size, and I just think they all look so cute together. I tried to make it so the colors would kind of complement one another. So if somebody wanted to buy more than one, they would go well. And I really love them. I'm tempted to make even more, but I'm trying not to go crazy. So we'll see how these do at this next market. I am anticipating there will be lots of kiddos at this market because it is another family event. So I'm very excited to bring these and see how they do. Speaking of Erin's patterns, the other patterns that I brought with me to my last market were Remi the rat. and Ossie the opossum, and I sold out of those as well. So I decided to make more of them this time. I was actually surprised that those sold out. I've heard people say that opossums do really well. Possums, whatever. I've heard people say that they do really well. I want to test it out for myself. I have never really been inclined to make a possum in the past, but Aaron's is so cute that I couldn't help myself. And also in conjunction with the possum, there is the rat, who is also very adorable, and they take about the same amount of time to work up. Last time I had 2 of each, and so this time I am bringing 4 of the opossums. They're just so cute. These ones I actually made with Premier Parfait plush, and they're very, very soft. I really like how they turned out. They're also a nice little good, you know, palm size make. So I will have 4 of these available along with 4 rats, but the rats I made in different colors. All of the opossums are these just gray and white basic opossums. Possums. I'm never going to say that right. Tell me which way is the correct way, because I don't really know. Anyway, I made 4 rats. So I made one in brown, one in cream, one in this kind of beige tan color, and of course a little gray one. People seem to be really drawn to these last time, so I'm excited to see how they do this time. And worst case scenario, if they don't sell out, then I still have some for my next market. So I know those makes aren't exactly fall or Halloween. I mean, I guess you could argue that maybe the rats are a little creepy, but now we're gonna get into some of the actual fall items I've been making specifically for this market and any other markets that I may do in the fall months. Last time I had pops from Cable and Canvas, I almost sold out of them. I think I had 1 left for the following market, and then I didn't restock for my last market. And I decided I wanted to not only restock the mushy pops, but I wanted to add some seasonal pops in case people would be interested in those. So I grabbed 3 of her patterns on Etsy, and I'm really excited to share them with you because they are super cute. The first one is this apple pop. So you can make the pop in either red or green or yellow, whatever color apple your heart desires. It has a little stem and a little leaf. It works up just as quickly as the mushy pop. They're kind of similarly made except for the stem and the leaf. And I think it turned out super, super cute. People seem to really like playing with these. They like that it's a quiet fidget. Even the adults were really drawn to these just because they're fun to kind of manipulate. And it's always fun when people kind of pick them up and look at them, and then I say, oh, by the way, that's a fidget, and they're like, what? And then I show them what it can do, and then they love it even more. So I'm thinking because people like the mushrooms, they will like this one as well. You can also turn the apple pop into a pumpkin pop. So instead of a leaf, this has like a little vine, and you just make it similar to the apple pop. And I think they both turned out really, really cute, and I'm excited to see what people think of them. I'm only bringing 1 of each of these as of right now. If I have time to make more, I will, but I also don't want to overdo it in case they don't sell. So we'll see what happens, and I will update you when I do my market recap, and this time I will remember to do a market recap. Another fall themed pop that I wanted to bring from Cable and Canvas is this cute little acorn. So again, you can find these on Etsy. It's just really cute, and I thought it would look adorable sitting next to the apple and the pumpkin. I also have her Halloween pop. So that's a candy corn, a witch, and a pumpkin, but with more of a ghost looking base. So I'm excited to make those as well. Haven't made them yet, but I am sure they will be just as easy and quick to work up as the apple and the pumpkin and the acorn. In addition to those fall ones, I also got a sunflower one that I haven't made yet. I'm hoping I have time, but we'll see. I'm kind of just trying to get as much done as I can of these smaller makes, but I'm really excited to bring those with me and see how they do. Continuing on with the Halloween and fall themed makes, I did freehand this little pumpkin myself. I'm sure there's free pumpkin patterns online. I'm not writing this up or anything. You can probably find some, but I was kind of just messing around with this orange yarn that I got from Premier and was like, ooh, I could make a mini pumpkin. And it was actually after I made a larger pumpkin that I'm going to show you, but I decided to freehand a tiny one just to see how it looked. And I think it turned out really, really cute. So I'm going to bring this one with me. I'm not sure if I will make more or not. What do you think? Do you think I should make more of these little guys? Do you think people will like them? I think they'd be a cute little like desk buddy. I think what I want to do is add a vine on the side just to like make it even more pumpkin-y, but I really like how it turned out, and if nobody buys it, I'm going to add it to my desk. The plushie that inspired me to make the mini one was this adorable sitting pumpkin pattern. This is a pattern that is available for free on Instagram by Spammy Crochets, and I think it is adorable. I have made other patterns that look kind of like this jelly cat style with the little legs. I made a croissant, I've made some potted tulips, and you can find those in my previous videos. So I figured this might be a good fall addition. I did sell one of the potted tulips and the croissant at my last market. So I thought, well, if people like that style of plushie, let's throw in some fall ones. So I found this one online and made it. It does take a little while to work up, but it is no-sew, which helps cut down on the time. And I think it is really cute and would make an adorable decoration, a shelf sitter. You could put it on a table, wherever you're kind of putting your fall decorations out. And this one you could probably leave out through Thanksgiving because it's just a pumpkin. It's not a jack-o'-lantern or anything spooky. I have a hard time making spooky things. It's just not really my vibe. So I'm probably going to end up with lots of cutesy Halloween versus creepy Halloween. We'll see. But this one is definitely going with me in a week. The next thing that I made, I am super excited to show you. It's technically finished, but I do want to add a couple more details to it, but I'm too excited about it to not show you. This is a pattern that I was literally waiting for it to come out, and that is Momo the Shelf Ghost by Sweet Little Buddies. This pattern is so incredibly cute. I absolutely will be making more. When I tell you that when this pattern came out, I bought it immediately and dropped everything I was doing to make it. I am not joking. I even sent it like an in-progress photo to Sweet Little Buddies just to show her how serious I was about this pattern. This pattern deserves so much love. It is adorable. Not only does it have this cute little hoodie, he's so cozy, but look how it sits so nicely. The shaping is amazing. Like, I was just in awe of this pattern as I was making it. It is so well written, and believe it or not, this is completely no-sew. Everything you see here involved zero sewing. Obviously, because it's not like a small make, it did take a little bit of time, but the result is so worth it. And I just like, I will not be sad if this doesn't sell because I absolutely will keep it and put it on a bookshelf in my house. This pattern comes with a few mod options. You can make your Momo the Ghost into a hooded Grim Reaper figure, which I think would be really cool to do. I think I would do the body and everything in black and the hood in black, and then I would maybe do the face in gray instead of black. I know her version is like white with a black face, but I think that would be cute. You can, there's little accessories, there's a lantern, there's a little like trick-or-treat looking bucket. The hoodie style I did was the decorative hoodie. So you can see it's too small to actually pull up over his big, beautiful noggin. But you can make a functional hoodie that will go up over Momo's head, and you can turn it into a pumpkin. It's so cute. Like, it's so cute. I love it so much. I just think the little face, the blush, it's so perfect. So what I want to add to mine though is a pair of glasses and a little miniature book. If you go to Sweet Little Buddy's Instagram page, you will see all the different variations plus all the adorable ones that the testers made. I was not a tester, I just bought it on release day. And you will see she has a tutorial for how to make the glasses. So cute. It definitely, like, especially if you're going to put this on a bookshelf, like, it needs glasses. And then the little book I think would just be such a cute little touch, especially to turn it into a shelf decoration with your books. And if you're a reader like me, it is just the perfect little piece of fall / Halloween decor, but I'm not sure I would actually ever take this down. So well, I'm excited to bring this to the market. I think I'm going to have it sitting on the table next to me, and I think people are absolutely going to love it. I'm hoping I'll have time to make another one because I really want to. I want to do like a witch version for sure because I think it's adorable. So anyway, Momo the Shelf Ghost by Sweet Little Buddies. If you were debating getting it, you need it. If you hadn't seen it before and you're not sure if you need it, you need it. Trust me. I'm peer pressuring you. Go get the pattern. These next few makes that I'm going to show you are not things that I made recently, but things that I've either created or tested in the past that are now ready for their time to shine at a market that is going to have fall and Halloween items. The first of those is Britt the Bat by Crochet Me Zaddy. Britt the Bat is actually a pattern available in Zach's brand new crochet book, Itty Bitty Amigurumi. I had the pleasure of testing many of the patterns in this book. I didn't get to all of them because there are 50, but I did test quite a few, and Britt the Bat was one of them. This little bat is so cute. It's no sew. It works up very quickly, and I think I'm gonna make a few more in a few other colors. This one I did in Zaddy Crafts gray color. I can't remember the name of it. I'm sorry, Zach. I made a lot of the patterns from this book in Zach's yarn just because it felt like the natural thing to do. So I'm going to make maybe a light gray one, a purple one, and a black one before my market. But how cute is Britt the Bat? So adorable. This pattern is full of no-sew amigurumi for all different occasions. They are perfect market makes. There's even one named Riley the Rainbow. Zach gave us all a nice little shout out in the back of the book. I want to talk more about the book and these patterns in a future video, so stay tuned for that. But I did have to highlight specifically Britt the Bat as a great fall or Halloween make that I will be bringing to my market. The next pattern I'm going to show you is a large make. It is a pattern that I tested, and it is so cute. I want you to meet Gloom the Bat. This is a pattern test that I did for the very lovely Comet Moth Crochet. If you are not following Lauren on Instagram, you absolutely should be. Lauren's patterns are fantastic. They're beautiful. They're well written, and just, you need to follow Lauren. I love this pattern, and I am so excited to bring it with me to my market. I used this kind of speckled yarn from Bernat, and these eyes were painted by my friend Britt, Nerdy Go Crochets. These are part of her Life and Color line, and I am totally obsessed with how this came out. Yes, I know it's not a traditional bat, but I think that makes it all the more fun. I could have done gray, but I didn't. I did a fun party yarn purple. I think this is definitely going to catch some eyes, and I can't wait to see who this cutie goes home with. The next plushie that I'm planning on bringing with me to my market, I have to warn you, this is a shameless plug for one of my own patterns that I wrote last year, and that is Willow, the Witch Fairy. Now, Willow is not one of my quicker makes, but I absolutely love this pattern. This is a standalone pattern, but you can also use it with my Rosalina the Ballerina pattern if you want different skirt options or shoe options or hair options. This is not a low-sew pattern. The body is, and arms and limbs are all worked up in one piece, but you do have to sew on the head, the hair, the hat if you choose. You don't have to sew the hat on, and the wings. Obviously, if you leave the wings off, Willow is just a witch, not a witch fairy, but I love this pattern. I truly, truly, truly adore it, and I think that's part of the reason why I haven't parted with any of my witches so far. I never put any of them on Etsy, but I think it's time for them to find a good home, and I have a feeling that they will in a market where people can pick them up and touch them and look at them. I haven't quite decided what my price point for Willow is going to be because it is a fair amount of work, a labor of love, and lots of materials involved. But I want to make sure whatever I price her at, that obviously I make it accessible for my customers, but at the same time that I'm paying myself fairly. So I have to think about that a little bit more. It's been a while since I've made Willow, but I have a good idea about how long the pattern takes, but just, isn't her hair luscious and beautiful? When I was testing the pattern with my testers, a lot of them said they were surprised at how quickly the pattern works up. When I'm designing dolls, I try to design them in such a way that they are fun to make and not something where you're like, ugh, I don't feel like doing this. Obviously, whenever there's doll making, there is hair involved usually, and that involves some sewing and a lot of yarn and work. But her hair is all worked up in one piece, which, you know, makes it a little bit easier. You're not like crocheting individual strands and then attaching them to the head. And I tried to make the rest of the pattern easy enough that maybe the hair wouldn't be quite as daunting. And of course, if you don't want the hair to be this long, you can change the stitch counts and things like that on the different strands of hair. This is my kind of classic Halloween Willow, but I also made a foresty version of Willow that I'm going to show you next. This is Willow the Forest Witch. So as you can see, this Willow has kind of a foresty mushroom theme. I'm obsessed with this one. I did not give this one wings just because I wanted to see what it would look like without wings. And I styled her hair into these cute little pigtails. I kind of just like twisted it back as I was gathering it and then tied it with some yarn. And I did another combination skirt on this Willow like I did on the first one. So this skirt comes from my Rosalina the Ballerina pattern, and this skirt right below it is included in the Willow the Witch pattern. So obviously I just added some spots to the witch hat, and I feel like she would look right at home in kind of like a cottagecore themed room or house. I don't think she necessarily would have to be put away the rest of the year. And I just absolutely adore how this one turned out. I love making like foresty cottagecore makes of my own patterns. I've done it with several. And so I thought that this one turned out absolutely perfect in that theme. One thing I forgot to mention is that this pattern also comes with accessories. Besides the hat, you can also make a cute little bubbling cauldron for your witch. And of course, every witch needs a broom. So I included both of those in the pattern as well. This pattern has been available on Etsy since last year. So if you want to try making a Willow the Witch yourself, you can find the pattern in my links down below or at my Etsy shop. That's all I have to share for now. I hope you enjoyed watching this video and seeing some of the items I'm planning on bringing with me to my next market. I guess this kind of turned out to be more of a pattern roundup than anything else, but I had a lot of fun making these things. Most of them are things I've made in the past couple weeks or months. And I am, like I said, planning on making more because I have about a week and a day until my market. So if you have any suggestions for patterns that you think I absolutely must try out or must include in my market lineup that are fall or Halloween themed, please let me know in the comments. I would love to check them out. If you're the designer, let me know. We'll see what I come up with in the next week or so. I'll do another pre-market video for you, hopefully. And then, like I said earlier, I'm going to try to do a market recap with actual cost breakdowns and things like that that I forgot to do after my last market. I'm learning, y'all. I'm learning. I'm really trying. This is a lot to juggle. Small business, content creation, full-time job, family. It's a lot. And I think a lot of you who follow me probably can relate to that because I think a lot of my followers are in similar positions as me. Thanks for hanging in there while I learn the ropes. Thanks for sticking around even though it's been a while since I posted. If you would like to help this video reach more people and help me hit my first goal of 1,000 subscribers on YouTube, please make sure to interact with this video. You can let me know which of the patterns was your favorite, which ones you're hoping to make. Like I said, suggestions for other patterns I might want to check out, or just say hi. I love reading your comments. I try to respond to all of them. I'm looking forward to hearing from you. If you're not already a subscriber and you think my content is something you'd like to see more of, please make sure that you subscribe and turn on notifications so that the next time I release a video, you will be the first to know. I will see you all in the next one. Bye.